Welcome back. Yeah. Hey, man. Again, I say all the time because it's a real thing. I love the pre-show, like the preparation, the pre-production. It's always a great thing to have, man. Welcome back to another episode of Made in the 1980s. I am still Camp from the Port, and um, almost always with me riding shotgun in the whip of what you talk about, cuz is my guy, and I'll let him introduce himself for you, please.
It's Wang Dang. Please say the damn doodle.
Please say it.
I
You know
won't
what I
answer if you don't.
mean? And that is an
Completely fucking
absolute
ignore
fact.
you.
You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, we are here for episode 36, Mafia. And man, I'm actually I don't want to say excited, but I'm kind of curious to see where this goes because I know even as people see the title of this episode, favorite childhood athletes, they may be expecting a lot of low-hanging fruit and cliche in this. And we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you guys know off the rip. I mean, we are gonna speak to just the people that we absolutely know and love, but we're also going to speak to just a lot of the other things that we maybe enjoy or delight in as far as athletes. And what better time? It's the fall season. The clocks are back. That sucks. Ugh. But you know, World Series just wrapped up. Salute to the Dodgers. They beat the Yankees down. I don't care. I don't really watch baseball at all. But also NFL season, what they're in week 8, week 9 now, and then NBA season has officially started, and my fantasy team looked great on paper, but we've been getting our ass smacked every single week, and it sucks. I hate fantasy sports sometimes. So, so hey, I'm about to lighten the mood, okay? I'm about to talk about something more positive. We're going to talk about favorite childhood athletes. And since we were both made in the 1980s, we're going to stick to the 80s and the 90s specifically. We're just going to stay there, okay? And when I say sports 80s and 90s, Wang, what is one of the first things, not one of the first people, but one of the first things that come to your mind when I just say athletes of the 80s and 90s?
I gotta say two things:
Mhm.
football and basketball.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, though. Sounds really stereotypical.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it's life. I mean, here's the interesting part about that. Yes, it may sound cliche, stereotypical, or what have you, but for those that were there and for those that know, basketball became the most popular it ever became in the 80s and 90s.
It
So,
did.
you know, not for nothing, we grew up in a time where um NBA basketball, especially, there were no big, a lot of big 20, 25,000, 30,000 seat arenas. There was no thing as $1 billion team. Shoot, some of the teams weren't even worth 100 million when we were young kids coming up. So I totally understand why you would say football and basketball. I mean, hey, I remember um Magic Johnson signing his contract, and I think it was like a 18-year deal for $18 million.
Wait,
You
run that
know,
by me one more time.
like no joke. I promise you. I believe Magic Johnson's either first or his re-up contract after his rookie contract. He signed for like 18 million for 18 years, or an 18-year, $18 million contract. I should have Googled that, but I didn't know that you were going to come at me with that angle. So pause if necessary. But yeah, you know, being a $1 million a year athlete was big money. So now you think about it. If Bird and Magic are only getting $1 million a year at best, what you think Vinny Microwave Johnson is getting a year?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think Kurt Rambis check really look like if they're giving Magic $1 million and that's the cap? Like that's the whoa, he did it. He got the big contract.
Okay, so I looked up Magic's contract.
Mm-hmm.
His first contract was 2.3 mil for 5 years, with an average of 460,000 a year.
Boy, listen. I think the league minimum is that now. But just think, that's a marquee player. That's the guy. Like he signed that being the guy. Like he was the next hope for the league, and that's what they was giving. So, you know what I'm saying? So I totally understand you saying, oh, football, basketball, because man, once Magic and Bird get into the league, you know, it ups the ante a little bit. College rivalry spills over into the most historic rivalry in the NBA. So they carry it from college to the pros, Celtics, Lakers, and with the Celtics kicking ass. And then that was it. And then, I mean, hey, it's low-hanging fruit because it's us. We're from Illinois. We're made in the 80s. But, you know, why do we go basketball first? Because of his airness. Because of Michael Jordan. And, I mean, hey, here's a, I don't know if it's a hot take or not. I don't know. Because I'm not purposely trying to be contrarian, but the older I got, the less I was a fan of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Okay, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't the biggest Jordan fan. I wasn't the biggest Bulls fan. I'm going to say that it was very cool to watch him in the first three-peat. I will say now, at that point in time, once he beat Magic, because again, and I can't even explain why, ladies and gentlemen. No, yes, I can. Yes, I can. When Jordan beat Magic, I was like, oh, I was upset. I was upset. I love Magic Johnson. And part of the reason why I love Magic Johnson was because of the NBA on NBC. And then, you know, once the music that and then they used to show Magic dribbling with like the lightning and the sparks and the colors shooting, and then he make the pass. It just looks so cold. And then not for nothing, I mean, I love this style of play. I love the Showtime aspect of it. It looked just so interesting to me. I looked at that and said, wow, I could never do that. I mean, I've almost broken so many windows in all of the places that my mom and I lived because I was trying to imitate Magic Johnson passes. And the thing is, it didn't matter if it was a Nerf ball. It didn't matter if it was a real basketball. I tried it with a soccer ball. I tried it with pillows. I used to just do behind the back passes, over the neck passes, just because Magic Johnson used to do it. Like that was my shit. Like, so for me, I was Team Magic out the gate, but then Jordan wins, and you know it's different. And I'm not totally sold. I will say Bulls versus Blazers, which, by the way, is one of my favorite video games of all time. That's when I was like, okay, I'm with this because I don't like Clyde Drexler and them like that, you know. and then he kind of crushes my spirit again because he beats one of my favorite players ever, and Charles Barkley. So I have an interesting love-hate relationship with Jordan, but I do recognize that he's great and he may be, the greatest of his time in his era or of all time. I don't want to engage in those kind of conversations, but that's for me, the reason why I always think basketball first, especially when we're talking 80s, 90s, it is because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but I also, as a kid, not even in double digits yet. Looking back on it, it's like Jordan was forced in our face. Jordan was every fucking where.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan was on the Gatorade commercials. He was on the Wheaties box. He had the anti-bullying campaign that he was doing. Michael Jackson's Jam video. Fucking everywhere.
Yep, everywhere.
So it's like, it made you love him.
Yeah.
You had to love Michael Jordan. But in my family, we despised that nigga. Whenever Jordan made it to the championship, you better get Steve. I don't care if you know that the Bulls is going to take it. Nope.
Just don't acknowledge it.
The only time we ever, as of now, this is where it got tricky. My stepfather is a diehard Bulls fan.
He was definitely in the wrong crib.
It's weird because he's not even from Illinois.
Oh, really?
He's born and raised in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, that's Illinois adjacent.
Yeah, so he's a diehard Bulls fan. He's a diehard Bears fan. But because, and I openly say this, because we were such Michael Jordan haters, we had to go against the Bulls as well. The only time we ever rooted for the Bulls is that year he wasn't there. We were die-hard Michael Jordan haters, but we never once negated how good he was.
Okay.
See, we never hated on the skills. We just didn't like him.
Yeah. Hey, see that I'm glad you brought up, because that is so important, especially for the young people that may listen to come across this episode in this era. There's fandom and then there's foolery, right? And in the midst of your fandom, you don't want to sound like a complete fool. Like, prime example, the best example for this era is LeBron James. It's cool if you don't like LeBron James. It is perfectly fine. But to say he's garbage is just foolery. It's just bullshit. A foolish take. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. Don't say that. You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're horribly wrong.
Hey, you can be like, man, I hate the Lakers. Why? Because LeBron played for him? Okay, man. I'll run with that. But
bring him to the fucking choir, dude. Like, look, okay. Whenever you force a player in my face, I don't like you. Because it's like you're forcing me. I feel like you're bullying me into being a fan of this person versus letting me genuinely be a fan of this person.
Yeah.
So Jordan, Kobe, Iverson. Stop forcing that. I will never take away from their ability, their skill set, and how fucking talented they are in the game of basketball. But let me like you. Don't make me like you.
I got a question, because you're saying something very powerful here. And I really do think you and I were both the target demo now. The more I say to this, the more I think about this, I'm sorry. What if Jordan, Iverson, Magic, even Isaiah Thomas, all these young black men on the basketball court, that just happen to be exceptional talents. What if they were actually being force fed to us to keep us invested in basketball because we were the ones starting to spend the money?
Bro, that was absolutely the goal. Bro, bro, if they would have said we're going to make Tony fucking Kukoc, goddamn the face of the NBA, the world would be talking about how great Tony Kukoc was.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say Tony Kukoc was not a bad player.
No, not at all.
He wasn't. But Jordan's physical abilities was more marketable.
Mm-hmm.
He looked better on the big screen. This is our go-to guy. And I'm not saying they didn't do it before, because I just want to speak for the times that we were looking at these sports and acknowledging these sports and understanding them.
No, for sure.
After that, after so many years, they would bring in another one. They would bring in another one. They would bring in another one. You've had multiple greats in the league at the same time, but you never had that marquee player. You only had one. It's like, I can't remember what comedian said it. But he was like, you can only have one big comedian at a time. And then he did the breakdown. You know, he was like, when Martin Lawrence was on top, there was nobody else competing with Martin. And then I think he said after Martin was Bernie.
I was gonna say my guess would be like Bernie or Jamie Foxx, I would say.
Yeah, I think he said it was Bernie. Then it said after Bernie, it was shit. But basically he was like, you know, after Bernie, I know I'm missing one. Then it was like
Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, something like that. Then it was Cat. Then it was Dave Chappelle. Then it was, I know I got the order fucked up, but
yeah, for sure. No, hey, look, this is our show.
So like now, you know, the new guy on the scene is, I don't even fucking know anymore. I think maybe Kevin Hart might still be running, but I really don't think Kevin's funny anymore. But
okay.
But that's my opinion. But
that's all good.
But if you look at the NBA, like we had Jordan,
and Shaq.
We had Shaq, Iverson, short-lived because Kobe. Yep. Even though Kobe stunk it up his first season.
For sure.
And then after Kobe, we had I'm gonna skip a few.
Like on the level that in which we're talking, it was Bron
level, and then then it was like we had like a back and forth this last time with LeBron and
Steph.
Yeah,
no, what you're saying is right, because and I get from the marquee player aspect, because now we're gonna take this, we're gonna heat this up a little bit, because after Iverson, yes, it was Kobe, and then the next one in the stratosphere that you're talking about is Bron, because the person in between it is Tim Duncan. And even though that Tim Duncan won titles and he's regarded as the greatest power forward ever, he wasn't a guy that was marketable from how his demeanor was, but so he wasn't the person trying to be marketed. Like, they gave him his press. He got press, but he wasn't marketed. And I do think that is the difference. Now, people, what Wilt Chamberlain did was different. What Kareem did was different, because that was actually dominating the game of basketball. And it's not saying that those guys weren't superstars nationally in their own right, but it was more about the game and and everything that came with the game. I mean, hey, they still fighting Jim Crow at that point. They trying to fight segregation. Like Bill Russell couldn't get a meal in a city that he was winning titles for downtown. They had bigger fights. But by the time you get to Magic, because even Dr. J has his moment. And he had the Dr. Pepper and all that Converse. And again, there is something, but remember, we still get to the 80s and the league is struggling. They don't seem to have the guy. And they get 2 in one draft with Magic and Bird. So they build off of that. And then you have Magic, who's just polarizing in every aspect, and it draws in more money because look, just like any business, you need as many eyes and as many dollars in it and on it as possible. So it does make sense, but man, do they start pointing on like Converse gives them, like they want to give them a shoe, this, that, or whatever. Nike is nowhere to be found. Nike ain't them. They not them. They don't become them till 1987. Why? Because that's when the Air Jordan debuts. And Michael Jordan, who look wasn't the first pick in the draft. For by many's estimation, people didn't think that he would be that great until he put 63 up on the Celtics and lost. So even in his shining moment, he took an L. But they were like, okay, wait a minute though. This kid might be the truth. And then sure enough, we get into this this aspect where he's good enough to get a shoe deal. Now, granted, it's still prestigious, way more prestigious than the other people now, because my big knock about athletes today is that, man, they get all this without winning nothing. But they did the same thing with Jordan. But the thing is, though, Jordan would continue to excel and more shoes would come. Like, see, that's the thing. Because I think he does end up being like rookie of the year. Where a lot of players that get shoe deals and contracts and endorsements now, they don't do anything. They don't win the scoring title. They don't win first team All NBA, second team defensive. They're not the MVP candidate. They're not in the running. Like, they don't do nothing but collect shoes and likes for baddies on Instagram. But I digress. Jordan at least took his little and made it into a lot. So when you do that, there is a market for you. I mean, look, it's 85. So by 87, he proves his worth. That starts the firestorm, though. So it's like, oh, wait, hold on. We may have just found the cash cow. Then comes Wheaties. Then comes Gatorade. You know, I mean, hey, he wins a few titles. Now he's in the movie with Bugs Bunny. It's getting crazy. And then
a cartoon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. He in Pro Stars. And we're gonna talk about Pro Stars because two of the athletes that I just associate with the 80s and 90s are Wayne Gretzky, the great one, even though I've never really watched hockey like that. And this guy, one of my favorites, Bo Jackson, you know what I'm saying? From the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So
Bo knows.
You know what I'm saying? Bo knows, and you don't know diddly. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Jordan, and why we have to start with him, I honestly believe is because he is literally the spark. He is the initial seed to make athletes true superstars. Like, truly. And as great as people thought Magic and Bird and Dr. J and Bill Russell and Bob Cousy and Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain, as great as everybody thought all these guys were, the money, the prestige, the elevation of the athlete, the pro athlete, doesn't really hit until Jordan takes flight.
I mean, but it's a difference between being a basketball star and a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bill Russell, Dr. J, Magic Johnson, they were basketball stars.
Yeah. Yep.
Jordan was a fucking superstar.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like this guy was everywhere. He was every fucking where. Like, you couldn't turn the TV on without Michael Jordan somewhere. You didn't see a billboard eventually Michael Jordan was on there. He was everywhere.
Hey man, sometimes I dream That he is me. Hey, when the kids started singing it, I was like, oh man, hey, hey, I could be in the commercial. Hey, it becomes it's a real thing. And you know, as we segue a little bit because we got to talk about other athletes. But I do think it is important to start with Jordan because I think sports, the cachet for sports increased, the cachet for just other athletes increased. And you know, without him, I don't think the next athlete gets his just due, so to speak. And I'm gonna go to Bo Jackson. Again, we got the jersey on. It's on. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because for years, there was seemingly speculation about who the greatest athlete was. But then we're like, but wait, there's only one guy playing two sports. There's one right now as I'm speaking. And it was Bo Jackson. Yeah, it was the Kansas City Royals and it was the LA Raiders at the time.
Yeah.
But he the only one trying to hit home runs, catching deep balls outfield, no pause needed because we're talking sports, and running for touchdowns. Also, he is absolutely the coldest video game athlete of all time.
Shout out Tecmo Bowl.
You know what I'm saying? There is no better athlete on the game ever than Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl. Find him. It don't exist. He is the truth. Hey, the only man that can run into the defensive line, the offensive line, miss the hole, bounce back out, and run for another 80 yards, touchdown. Once Bo got the ball, it is a wrap for you. But we're going to save that for another show at another time. Let's keep it to real life. Bo Jackson is also one of the people that, hey, again, it was a shock to see him in a Nike commercial with Bo Diddley. And then I would see him on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as one of Will's friends with Quincy Jones. Rest in peace, Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, wow, this guy who, again, superstar athlete, as you were saying, but he didn't quite have all of the superstar, I guess, charisma, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we go with that.
But you'd be hard pressed to find anybody made in the 1980s and that lived through the 90s that doesn't have, I think, Bo Jackson in their top 5 of just athletes just off of name, face, and brand recognition alone.
Shaq.
Top 5. Like I said,
Okay.
top 5. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hey, we're still in the 80s. We're still in the 80s.
Right. All right.
Because because I got you. We're going to get to Shaq, but
Mike Tyson probably could have had it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Tyson could have had it, but I mean, I'm unsure. Off the top of my head, I'm unsure when his downward spiral started to happen, and I want to say it was mid 90s.
Oh no. It's it was. I mean, look. The Tyson Douglas fight was 1990.
Oh, so, it was.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So no. Hey, listen. Be clear. Mike Tyson ruled the 80s. He ruled the 80s.
Tyson was that guy.
Yeah. No, for sure. Hey, and I mean, look. I wish I could take one of the pictures down that I got here. But yeah. Hey, listen. For me, I think if we're going to talk just undisputed 80s, 90s, the top 5 athletes, and this is not solely just based on who they are, I mean, what they play, but also who they are. I think you have, again, for the time, Jordan, got Bo Jackson, got Mike Tyson. I'm gonna say Deion Sanders, and then Shaquille O'Neal. That's what I'm gonna say. That's the 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because, like, no matter what, when you think of sports 80s, 90s, if it was a dunk, you're most likely talking about Jordan. If it was somebody getting knocked out, obviously it was
It's gotta be
nobody
Mike.
but Mike Tyson.
Gotta be Mike.
2 sport athletes, you think of Deion and Bo, or Bo and Deion, but then Deion goes on to play in the World Series and a Super Bowl. So it's unquestionably, Deion now.
Right.
And he do songs with MC Hammer. So you know who Deion Sanders is. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you got and once basketball evolves a little bit, Jordan leaves and comes back. But yo, who is this man child? The first time we heard the word man child was marketed, and he's tearing down rims, and they have to make them Shaq proof. Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think you can get out of the 80s or 90s without naming them in your top 5, for sure not your top 10. And I'm not attempting to be biased, because I'm going to bring up some white athletes, but we're going to be just real about star power. But yeah, I think those guys, if they're not in the 5 in some order, definitely 4 of the 5 are in there in some order, depending on what sports you actually like.
We could throw an honorable mention in there. I think Larry Johnson had a nice little run, especially when he started doing the grandmama image.
I saw a really cool story about that too. Larry Johnson shares the story. Matter of fact, hold on, man.
There we go.
First of all, this how much I mess with Larry Johnson. I don't know how y'all mess with Larry Johnson. This how much I do. There is, and I wish I had it. I know my mom has it at the house. I should have prepared better for this. But there is a picture of me at Danville Correctional with my uncle. And I think one of my uncles, my other uncles, and my mom. And we take a picture with my uncle. And I have on the Larry Johnson grandmama shirt. I have it on. That was my shirt. Larry Johnson for me is in my top 5, but I give grace for the ultimate scale of just superstardom, because the marketing budget for him was very real. And he said originally, his original promo was he's the greatest player ever, Larry Johnson, and the 2 doctors that put him together were Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And he went through the promo with all that, and because we'll keep it a G, he said one of them backed out, didn't want to do it because they were calling him the greatest player ever, and so he ends up with the grandmama joint. But it serves as a good play. Him and Kevin Johnson, you know what I'm saying? They end up doing great with that. But hey, listen, Larry Johnson for me. Hey, I was a Charlotte Hornets fan because of this guy, guy right here.
Absolutely.
So for me, Larry Johnson is definitely 5 for me, top 5 for me. And I gotta move somebody around. I don't know who yet. Most likely it's Shaq, even though I bought his albums. But I'm just saying though. Hey, Larry Johnson for me was the guy.
You helped Shaq go platinum.
Hey, absolutely, like 3 times. Hey, let's real quick, because we want to. I don't want some of our white, brown, or other listeners to think I ain't hip. So look, I want to give y'all some athletes real quick off the dome that I ain't even gonna look at my notes real quick here. But other artists are the artists. Other athletes that I think of when I think of the 80s and 90s, Andre Agassi. Andre Agassi, I couldn't get away from him. And I never watched tennis, but I wanted his Reebok because
Yeah.
Andre Agassi, and I think with the ponytail and all that, he was out there killing it. Wayne Gretzky, the great one. The everybody misquotes him all the time or give his quote to somebody else. That's his bar. You miss 100 of the shots you don't take. That is a Wayne Gretzky original. Stop giving it to Jordan. Stop giving it to like Abraham Lincoln or whoever else y'all think is that. No, Wayne Gretzky said that. He's the great one. He said it. Hey, Pete Sampras. You dig? You know what I mean? Pete Sampras. Nolan Ryan. You dig? Like he was the truth. Again, I know so many baseball players to never watch baseball that it's honestly uncanny and disgusting at the same time. Greg Maddux, like Roger Clemens. I like these are just names that I just know. Hey, Jose Canseco. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I remember wondering what the Oakland A's was. I thought MC Hammer owned the Oakland A's because he was repping them so hard in one of the videos. Come to find out, there's a whole baseball team. I was like, oh, damn. Didn't know that. I'm here for Hammer. I don't know nothing else going on. I'm here for Hammer, guys. So, you know, there are hey, look, hey, Ryan Sandberg, you know what I'm saying? Cubs legend out there, you know what I'm saying? But now we're gonna rewind back. Well, not rewind back, but also another guy that I just associate with that time. Oh, wait, we can't forget about Joe Montana. Can't forget about Joe Montana. Originally, the original Tom Brady, the original greatest quarterback ever at the time. You know what I'm saying? We've mentioned Larry Bird and Dan Marino. Dan Marino was
Young.
Yeah, Steve Young.
See, we back in the football realm, so I can
Yeah.
I can give you some names now. Baseball. But shout out to everybody that plays baseball.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, just no disrespect. Hey, look, it wouldn't market it to us. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I saw baseball, unfortunately, and black people were involved, they showed Darryl Strawberry going to jail.
Go to jail.
For smoking crack. Doc Gooden, I think he was on roids and drugs. I don't know. Like, whenever they were showing outside of Ken Griffey Jr., every time I saw black baseball players, they were getting hemmed up for drugs, steroids, or both.
Yep.
So I was just like, oh, back to the NBA. Because I don't want to see this. Jesus. You know, but yeah, Ken Griffey, I could be wrong. Please correct me, but I think he was the first baseball player with a shoe. He had a shoe deal. I don't recall a baseball player having a shoe deal before Ken Griffey Jr. And I could be dead wrong, so please correct me, anybody, if I'm wrong. But you know, that's what made the 80s and 90s super special. Because only the special players were getting the treatment of getting their jerseys sold, getting a shoe deal, getting a Nike commercial or a Reebok or whatever. You know, there was a time when you could go into any store, you know, whether it was MC Sporting Goods, you know what I mean, Messon and Becker, you know what I mean, or just Lids, Champs, Foot Locker, and there was only 7 jerseys up there. It was 7, depending on the season, and you know, and your choices during basketball season were Jordan, Magic, Bird, Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal. All right, and then and if it was football, your choices were Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith, Steve Young, Joe Montana, and if you lived in Chicago, Walter Payton, or if you lived in Illinois, Walter Payton. There were not a lot of jerseys for sale. All right.
No.
You only don the greats on your back and chest. That was it.
And Ken Griffey Jr. was the first baseball player to have his own shoe. It was called the Air Griffey Max 1.
Yep. Hey, absolutely. Hey, wanted it bad, Wang. Wanted it bad. Never watched him play. Outside the home run derby, I think, and on Sports Center, never saw a game. But I wanted that shoe because Ken Griffey was that polarizing, and I was told he was that great.
And to tell you the truth, they need to bring these bitches back because I need a pair.
Hey, fire, wasn't they?
Fire.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I'm only here for the truth. You dig? And and nothing was truer than that. I love that time because it took you more than one great season. You know, it took a lot of red tape to get that, but at the same time, man, you got to salute these guys because of the moves that they made. They are the reason why the game is in the space it is today, and that's just not me just spouting off just to say it. Like, no, it's the actual truth, because you know what's still a very popular hot topic amongst athletes: being a role model, right? Being a role model. I'm not a role model. Who's the first guy to say that? I am not a role model. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, look, another one of my guys. Another one of my guys. I don't have the camera right. I'm trying to stay in the mic. But look, I bought this for the purpose of Charles Barkley, meeting him one day. And I thought I was going to in Atlanta when I was living there. Meeting Charles Barkley, having them sign this so then I can frame this and never put it on again. That's what I want. That's my guy. I'm going to do the same thing with this. If I ever meet Larry Johnson, it ain't quite throwback material, but it's rarely worn. And his name could go anywhere here. You know what I'm saying? And I want to frame these and never wear them again because not only was I in love with their style of play and their passion, but hey, not for nothing. I just love the people that they represented. You know, I love the fact that Charles Barkley would swing on you.
Oh yeah,
and he's shorter than some point guards in the league. Oh, you're 6'6", don't matter. You're 7'2", don't matter. I'll throw the ball at you. I'll take your knees out. I'll smack the shit out of you. It doesn't matter. Hey, yo, that's why Barkley is the man. You can't find one person in the NBA during his time that Charles Barkley would not swing on.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and to be real, he may not have wanted to be a role model, but he became my muse for how I wanted to behave if things ever got out of hand on a court or on a field anywhere. So hey, I'm here for it.
If anybody can get it was a person,
man,
it was Charles Barkley.
You dig, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I think that it's important to highlight and celebrate those guys because, hey, look, again, Charles Barkley, MVP season during the Jordan era. That's a feat. That's a feat. Jordan is in the midst of a three-peat, and they gave Charles Barkley the MVP of that year. And he got a shoe out the deal. One of the colder shoes in basketball history and in Nike history as well. You know, I could say so much about Barkley and Larry Johnson and these things and other athletes. Obviously, we talked Jordan, Magic, Bird. But there's another pivotal moment. We're going to swing it back to this gentleman. Pause if necessary. Right, Shaquille O'Neal. So now we already talked about the Shaq proof joints, right? Shaq originally had a Reebok deal.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, Wang, for me, and this is just me being the rap nerd that I am. Once I heard I Know I Got Skills by Shaquille O'Neal featuring Def Jeff, I was sold. He was not only was he a great basketball player, but hey, I'm gonna ask this album for Christmas. And I did. I put that right towards the top of my damn Christmas list. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq Diesel, the album. And I must say, to this day, I still do not regret the purchase, and I think I still got it.
Dude, Shaq was not a bad rapper, man.
No, not at all.
He was not a bad rapper at all. I will stand on this hill. Shaq could get busy on a lot of these new rappers right now.
Oh yeah,
Like
and,
right
and
now,
has high key. And has
like
high
right
key.
now, if Shaq was to do a song right now, Shaq can out rap a lot of these new cats.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, he could out rap some people with the Shaq Diesel verses.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. When he said, I get dirty after dark, I treat you like Spielberg, you get your ass kicked in the park. I was like, oh, oh, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I tell y'all all the time, no matter what platform you hear me on, A Tribe Called Quest is my favorite rap group. Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest is on this album. And he not taking it light on Shaq. But that, yo, Shaq, where you at? I'm over here, Big Shaq. Where you at? I'm over here. And he let him get the second verse. Hey, Phife was floating on Shaq, but Shaq wasn't having it. He coming back. He came back with the bars. Yo, you couldn't tell me he wasn't dope. You couldn't tell me. And hey, Foosh Nickens. Hey, look, I bought Foosh Nickens maxi singles. I love Chip Pop and Mach Fu. Yeah, you didn't think I knew the names. I did. You know what I'm saying? And when they was on Can We Rock, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is great. Yo, I'm the hooper, hyper, protect the vibe, viper. When I'm in your city, though, you must decipher. Hey, bro, hey, Shaq was getting busy. Shaq is getting busy on the Shaq Diesel album. Hey, he getting busy on Shaq Food to Return. I bought that too. You dig? No Hook with Method Man and the RZA. And hey, Redman is on that album. See, here's the thing. See, a lot of people, athletes especially, they try to do their music and their other endeavors like either solo or just trying to attach to somebody hot. I will forever and always respect Shaq because he always collabed with people that could really rap. And he went to go get his shit off. Like, he could have easily just been like, yo, okay, I'm in the NBA. You know, the smart move here is just to do a song with the Fresh Prince. He could have did that. You know what I'm saying? He could have mailed it in like, yo, me and Hammer got to do something. I need to collab with like Vanilla Ice. I need to be, hey, yo, maybe me and Sir Mix-a-Clock can do something. Like he could have done that, but no. He like, yo, no, I want Eric Sermon on the beats. Yo, call up Phife. Call it Method Man. Like, yo, hey, Biggie. Hey, I want to do a song with Biggie. Yes. Hey, listen, by 1997, there's only a handful of real features that exist. And Shaquille O'Neal on You Can't Stop the Rain, the album, the first song on there is with Notorious B.I.G. and he is getting cleaned up on there, but it don't matter because it's a real verse. It's a real two verses from Biggie on the Shaq album.
I mean, but that really just goes to say, goddamn, that Shaq was just like, nah, I really do this rap shit.
Yeah.
I'm confident in myself that I really do this rap shit.
That's a fact.
So, no, I'm not just going to do who's popping.
Yeah.
I want to rap with the motherfuckers I like.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Hey, and because you're Shaq, you can do that.
Yeah, hey, absolutely. Hey, and I will forever respect it. You know, moving forward to a little bit and not to just totally compare it, but like when I look at what Allen Iverson tried to do and what Kobe Bryant tried to do as far as music is concerned, I mean, hey man, you know, not only was I think just maybe the skill and the charisma not quite there, but Allen Iverson, unfortunately, was just trying to be a tad too street and in his approach, you know. And Kobe, Kobe just wasn't nice. He was just young and could do a lot, but Kobe just wasn't nice rapping. I know he was on the Brian McKnight joint, but nah.
That shit was dumpster juice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and now because we're talking about athletes, 80s and 90s, one person I gotta give respect to though. And look, he was never a superstar player in the NBA, but he was always a threat. My man Cedric Ceballos. Cedric Ceballos got one of the best rap songs by an NBA player of all time. Like, yes, absolutely. I don't want to butcher the name. So let me look at the name of this song, because I think he ended up putting out a whole album. Yeah, Flow On. Yeah. Hey, listen. Cedric Ceballos on Flow On. And I think, I think Warren G on that too, by the way. And you know, on he got a joint on B-Ball's Best Kept Secret. That's the joint with like Dana Barrows and all them is on there. They rapping, they getting their shit off. But yeah, no, hey, listen, Cedric Ceballos was definitely a above average NBA rapper for sure. He gets left out of a lot of conversations because he just never averaged 30 a season or whatever. But Cedric Ceballos got busy. And I definitely, if they ever would have sold it, I would have bought the earwax. I would have went to there and bought it. They never had it in there. I looked for it. I promise.
I found it. I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah. For sure. And you know, athletes that doing music, since this is like the block, you know what I'm saying, for this. I mean, we brought it up, and it was actually a cool moment for me and my broadcasting career. Man, I got the chance to meet Deion Sanders, 2012 Super Bowl. It was in Indianapolis. I'm sorry. Yeah. Giants Patriots 2. Worked the Hip Hop Honors red carpet. And the question I had, I was working for IMC TV at the time. And I was like, hey, what was the first song you played when you won the Super Bowl? And I got some really great answers. Michael Irvin gave me an amazing answer about some jazz song that he played with his pops. Because like I, judging by the lifestyle, I had no idea that like Michael Irvin didn't really listen like to like hip hop, like he don't listen to rap. He don't listen to, he like calm, like jazz and things of that nature.
I never would have guessed that.
Never would have guessed that, right? And then he was telling me about just that moment of winning the first Super Bowl and that song playing, the look on his dad's face and everything. I was like, man, wow, that's awesome. And like he was like, man, you bringing me back, man. That's a really good question. Deion Sanders, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes later, Deion Sanders comes up asking the exact same question. He gives me the perfect mic drop answer ever. And he was like, must be the money, baby. And he shook up with me, saluted me, and walked off. I was like, this dude is the fucking man. Like, Deion Sanders is the man in real life. He's the man. Like, dog, I played my own music when I won the Super Bowl, bro. What are you talking about? Like, yo. And then he dabbed me up and saluted me and walked off. I was like, yo. That was Deion Sanders.
Goated, man.
You know what I'm saying? I looked at my man Woody. I was like, this is Deion Sanders, bro. Like, that's how he talked to me because he really got it.
Deion goated, goddammit.
Heck yeah. Hey, listen. I don't care what nobody in the press say. Deion Sanders is the man in real life. In real life, he is the man, and he was a great human in that moment. And man, I will never say anything bad about Deion Sanders just off of that moment alone. You dig what I'm saying? So, but hey, another guy to do music, and again, Shaq is the blueprint for how to be successful in the music realm. But man, I think another person that was just great at encapsulating everything else was Deion Sanders, like, because he reached the pinnacle of everything that he did, when he Is in baseball, he gets to the World Series. When he's in football, he gets to the Super Bowl. When he creates music, he does it with the hottest artists in the game. Like every time, like he did something in the 80s and 90s, it was at the highest level. And there's an amazing, just like, I don't know, aura, energy that comes with that. Yeah. You dig? It's like, man, like how can you deny a guy that when they step out to do it, they're tier one, A1. That's where they are. That's where they end up when they do it. So I look at that and I look at him, coaching, at Colorado now. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. He is going to be coaching in a Rose Bowl because that's just what Deion Sanders in my life has never done anything second rate. No. So I expect in time for him to get there and it just be like, oh wow, Deion Sanders. Now he's winning championships as a coach. No surprise to me.
Fucking Deion said, I remember when that fucking song came out. My mom played that. And then, if you remember, the B-side had like this up-tempo dance song.
Yo.
And I cannot remember what the name of that song was called.
Oh, man. Yo,
but I used to dance my heart out to that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. Salute to Deion Sanders, man. Just one of the greatest, man. One of the greatest just in life. One of the greatest, one of the pillars of Black excellence, man. If you're asking me, man, because I want to just detour back into just keeping the sports. Another one of my favorite athletes. Well, two of them actually, and it was the great running back war of the 90s. Wang, Emmitt Smith versus Barry Sanders. And I've always leaned towards Emmitt Smith only because the first football game I ever watched on my own accord and became fascinated with football was the 49ers versus the Cowboys. Okay. So, and just so happens that Emmitt Smith ran off for 200 yards that game. Like, and Aikman, Alvin Harper, and Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, they went crazy that game. And it was all, anchored by Emmitt's play, but obviously we can't be who we are and not mention Barry Sanders as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because man, but Barry Sanders, and this got to be some kind of stat. We brought this up about, like starter jackets, but I used to see so many girls, pretty girls in Freeport, Illinois, that had Barry Sanders jerseys. And I don't truly think they know who Barry Sanders was. I don't think they did. But they had that 20 though. They had that 20 on and that blue though.
We had that. It was a lot of Barry Sanders, and then after that, it was a lot of Marshall Faulk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I don't know why.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm totally convinced, and there's no hate. Shout to Barry Sanders, but he didn't strike me as the heartthrob dude either. Like they weren't doing it because he was like fine. I don't believe. I would have to ask, but yeah, I saw so many Barry Sanders jerseys.
I genuinely think that you saw so many Barry Sanders jerseys because, and I'm not saying that women don't watch sports, so don't turn it into that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the reason why we were seeing some of these jerseys was because these girls was hearing their dads and uncles talk about these players.
So, that Barry Sanders is a bad boy. That's a bad boy right there.
So if we unfortunately if we take it back to hip hop, that was a thing for women to have on the hockey jersey or the baseball jersey or the football jersey, in the video. So if you're going to rock the jersey fashion that was a thing in the 90s, you had to have that guy on the back of that jersey. So no, you don't know who Barry Sanders is. But my favorite uncle said Barry was that guy. So for Christmas, Mom, I need the Barry Sanders jersey.
Yeah. Because who knows?
Marshall Faulk played for before he went to St. Louis.
Oh shoot. Was it the Colts?
Colts. He played for the Colts. The Marshall Faulk Colts jersey was everywhere. Why? He was that guy. He was that up and coming guy, though.
Yeah.
Like he was a fresh face, and everybody was talking about him. Saw the jerseys everywhere. I saw more of the Colts Marshall Faulk jerseys than I saw the St. Louis.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, and you know what? Because man, wow, that's an amazing point. Because now maybe the guy you like at school is also a Barry Sanders fan. Now that's the conversation piece for you. Because hey, your uncle didn't put you on. He put it in your mind. You show up with the jersey. Now they hollering. Oh, what you know about Barry Sanders, girl?
Whole talking point.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, you be watching the game. Okay. How many yards he rushed for last week?
And your ass are gonna make or break if this conversation go continue.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, and if you real player and you really want it, you don't even care about the number. You just want her talking to you. You're like, hey, look, just pass me a note. We'll talk about it between periods. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what it is. That is what it is, bro. Oh man. I think we've done a really good job of naming like the front facing athletes, and I know we didn't name them all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, I will always associate LA Gear with Joe Montana. And also Andre Agassi. But I will also always associate the Reebok pump with Dominique Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? And there were so many other players, different sports that were definitely just instrumental and integral parts to our childhood. But now let's move to the real ish, man. Let's get to like TVs and movies, man. You know, I don't think we could do a show about favorite childhood athletes and I talk about my guy Lucas, man. I don't think we can do it, man. Lucas, the young man that wanted to make the football team and invented the slow clap celebration, bro. He invented it. Who was doing the slow clap for your efforts before Lucas? Talk to me about it. I don't know him. Lucas. I'm shouting out Lucas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
He made it happen, bro. He made it happen. Shout out to Corey Haim. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. That's Lucas, though. He Lucas. And he made it happen for himself.
I'm trying to remember I know what movie you talking. I can't even think of the title.
No, literally, it's Lucas.
Was it just Lucas?
Yep, it's Lucas. Hey, you know why you forget? Because you know who tried to buy this style? Rudy.
Okay, yep, you're right.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy stole all of Lucas swag. But salute to Rudy too, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, he did it. No, man. But no, Lucas, hey, it's a star-studded film when we look back at it. Look, Corey Haim was in it, Charlie Sheen was in it, Winona Ryder is in that movie. It's one of the original Brat Pack movies with that whole crew from the Breakfast Club that became superstars and all of that. This is one of the movies that kind of kicked it off for them.
Okay, yeah. So I was most definitely thinking about Rudy.
Yeah, man. Which hey, look, Rudy on the list too. But man,
Rudy was lit.
You know, Rudy was a fighter, man. He was a fighter.
I'm gonna go with Little Giants.
Okay, the whole squad or one player in particular?
The whole squad, like, dude, that was as a kid, that was one of my favorite fucking movies, man. Like, dude, that movie was, dude, to this day, that movie is hilarious.
Yeah, no, it is. It truly is. That movie is funny. Hey, you know, and I know they really exist too, though. But man, listen, we're not gonna leave this show not made in the 1980s without shouting out the Jamaican bobsled team from Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
We're not doing that. I don't know what show you thought you was listening to or watching, but we doing this.
Get on up, bobsled time.
You know what I'm saying? We can't do the show without them.
Okay, Cool Runnings. Let's go with Sunset Park.
Hey, it's time to get live. It's time to represent Sunset Park. What time is it?
Hey, Sunset Park birthed a lot of actors as well. Like, dude, I didn't know who the fuck the nigga name, but come on,
Fredro Starr from Onyx.
No, I knew who Fredro was because of Onyx.
Okay,
but what's his name?
About Talent.
Yeah,
the comedian.
Talent. But you ever notice Talent was always a nigga that shot threes?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do shit but shoot jump shots in every movie he was in.
Hey, Jumper going crazy every time.
He was like the Leon of basketball. Like, if Leon was in a movie, he was gonna do some singing.
Right.
No, that's not even Talent. Talent, goddamn, was the hefty dude.
Yeah. No, he definitely was the bigger dude.
The one that played Drano. The bald head cat.
Okay.
Every time I saw that dude, he was in a movie hooping with a jump shot. Like, I really believe that nigga really had a jump shot. Like, it was not a game. That nigga was splash on you.
Yeah. Shout out to Antoine Tanner, goddamn. Hey, he was in something else too. I can't remember it. But
I want to say he was in.
I know it. Hey, yo, you know what? This is also what he was in because this is who I got to shout out. Kyle Watson from Above the Rim.
There you go. What was he doing? Shooting.
Jumper wedding. Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck I can't think. Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw him was from Sunset Park. He was what the fuck was his name? He was weird as shit.
Oh, Spaceman.
Yeah. That's the first time I ever saw Terrence Howard. I'm not sure if he did anything prior to that, but that's the first time I ever saw him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. 96. Yeah, I don't know. That might have kicked it off for Terrence Howard. As far for me too. Oh man, that's good. But yeah, no man. Hey, Sunset Park. Hey, Kyle Lee Watson. You know what I'm saying? Him and Tommy Shepard. You dig? Like, hey, listen. After Above the Rim, Dwayne Martin got typecasted a lot. Like, even in the episode of The Fresh Prince he was in, when he was in Out All Night, the TV show with the Patti LaBelle show, he was always taking the 2 cross dribbles with the jumper every single time, and he never he finally got away from it when I think with All of Us, but I think he tried to play basketball in one of those episodes. I don't even remember, but yeah, man, no way we could do this episode without talking about Kyle Watson. Kyle Ball Hog Watson, man, the original Russell Westbrook. And I stand on that. You dig?
I'm not gonna argue. I'm gonna argue at all.
Hey, Ricky Wild thing. Oh, wait, go ahead.
We not gonna breeze past Shepard, goddamn it, shit, coming on the motherfucking court, goddamn, the damn trench coat, goddamn, the fucking corduroy pants.
Right, hey, yo,
hold
hey, listen. Yo, Tommy Shepard threw a jersey on with a Henley shirt, a Henley long sleeve, to the 3 buttons, and some Bugle Boy jeans and Pro Cats, and got buckets. Hey, look, man, I'll beat y'all with the casuals on, bro. What are you talking about? I'm Tommy Shepard.
Straight like that.
Yeah, hey, man. He was out there getting buckets in the Henley with the Bugle Boys on. Done out here. You don't want no problems. Even oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I left off with Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn from Major League.
Major League.
Hey, listen, again, not really a baseball guy, but between him and Gina Davis in the League of Their Own, because I forget the girl's name, like those are my 2 favorite baseball athletes in movies. A League of Their Own. Those ladies and Tom Hanks was killing that. They went crazy. I loved it. 80s, 90s. Let's go.
What was Wesley Snipes' character?
Oh man, you just stumped me. I know I should know this. Wesley Snipes, his name was I'm thinking of Bob Uecker ass. No, that's a real person. Oh, hey, Willie Mays Hayes. That's
Willie
why
Mays Hayes.
Yeah, because he really was like, yo, you Willie Mays.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah. Oh man. So man.
Because I want to say when they did part 2, they replaced him with Omar Epps.
Yep. Major League 2. Yeah, Omar Epps. Shout out to Omar Epps. He was in it. Yeah. Oh man. Hey. Okay. So another basketball legend. And one of the greatest high school performances you'll probably ever see in your life. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you pay attention to it when you see it this time. Got to shout to the one and the only Teen Wolf, man. Hey. I got to shout out Teen Wolf. Scott Howard, bro. Scott Howard turning into Teen Wolf on the court. Unmatched. I still want to see Teen Wolf versus Shaq. It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Hey, you do realize we always find a way to put I don't know why that man name always
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox, goddammit.
Michael J. Fox is the king of the 80s, bro. He's just the king, bro. I can't help it. He's got to be talked about. Whenever we focus on the 80s, Michael J. Fox got to be recognized because he damn near did everything. He did everything but put out a song, as far as I know. I'm gonna have to Google that when the
hey, that's worth Googling.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I got one that just barely squeaked in.
Okay.
My name is Willie.
Hey, Willie. Man. Yeah.
Hey, Any Given Sunday was so motherfucking lit.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, he just got in there. But yes, no, absolutely, man. Any Given Sunday, Willie Beeman, steaming Willie Beeman, absolutely got to be mentioned on this here show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Willie Beeman was Deion Sanders, Michael Vick, like all put together.
Hey, straight up. Hey, and MC Hammer in the Pumps and the Bump video. He was really all 3 of them. He was all 3. I was
Hey,
like, yo, he
Will
wild.
Deacon was a motherfucker, goddamn. Like, how the fuck you Dion, MC Hammer, and motherfucking Mike Vick
Right.
all roll into one?
Right. Oh man, too funny. Oh man. So there's a lot of other ones that we can mention, but we want to save it for the comments. But I gotta close with one because obviously I can't do this show without naming this athlete from a TV or movie because I mean, hey, without him, I don't become inspired to be my greatest self, even at a young age and feel emotion. I gotta close it out with Rocky Balboa, man.
Rocco!
You know what I'm saying? Rocky Balboa, man. You know, greatest movie boxer of all time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's any debate there. Obviously, we talked about his foes and the villains episodes and things like that. But right now we just gonna salute our favorites, the people that we cheer for, we love and endeared. You know what I mean? So Rocky Balboa for me is yeah, that's how I want to close out. If you were ever fighting for your life, fighting for your friends, fighting for America, which some of y'all think y'all doing during the election season, but hey, thank God that's over.
Oh my God. So
But
over it.
you know what I'm saying? But no matter what, man, Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion, hit you to how to really fight for something and fight to win. So I gotta give it up to my dog, Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion, man. Yeah.
I can't do it. It don't get no better than Rocky.
You know what I mean?
It don't
Hey,
get no better than Rocky.
but hey, shout out to Air Bud, right? You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? But hey, man, we thank y'all for checking out this episode of Made in the 1980s. Hey, let us know some of your favorite childhood athletes. They could be real athletes, they could be from TV, movies, music. You know what I'm saying? There's some we didn't name, and I know, but we want y'all to interact with us, man. Tell us who makes your top 5, 10, 20, whatever it is, because we'd love to hear it. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and know that always and consensually, it's love.